Hi, my name is Kumar, and today we'll be working on Ansible. So these are the topics that we will be covering in Ansible. It's Ansible introduction, why we need Ansible, Ansible architecture, installation, configuration, ad hoc commands, and Ansible playbooks. Ansible is an open source IT automation tool, and with Ansible you can automate most of your repetitive tasks. Okay, so apart from this, you can also automate the provisioning part. You can spin up, you can set up the various servers you need in your infrastructure, and you can create a virtual machine, or you can create an instance in the cloud from the template. Ansible helps in automating this process. All right. So if you want to install a new version of a package of Java or a Tomcat on all the machines present in your enterprise, then it is not feasible for you to go log into each machine and install those packages, or it is not feasible for you to change the configuration file of an application on all the machines in your enterprise. If you are the count of your machine is in hundreds or thousands, with Ansible you can actually write a playbook and update the inventory file with all the host names where you want the changes or where you want the package to be installed. And then you can run those, you can run the playbook, and it becomes it becomes very easy for you to do this task. So you're basically automating those things. Okay, so Ansible also automates the deployment of the application in a very simplest way. All right, and with Ansible automation platform, you can integrate different security solutions, okay, that can investigate and respond to the threats across the enterprise. All right, so Ansible orchestration also defines how multiple configuration interacts and ensures that different pieces can be managed as a whole. Right. So out of complexity, Ansible brings order. So why do we use Ansible when there are so many other automation tools like Puppet and Chef available in the market? So there are a few advantages that Ansible has over these tools. Ansible, firstly, Ansible is agentless. You don't need an agent to be installed. Then it is very simple and powerful. It is secure since it uses SSH based connection. It is YAML based. Okay, so Ansible is written in Python, and YAML language is similar to your English language. All right, so it becomes very easy to master and manage the configuration. Large number of ready to use modules are available for system management. All right, when you install it, you get all these modules, and in case if need arises, you can also create your own custom modules. All right, and it works on the push architecture. It pushes from the control node to your managed node. When you come to Puppet or a Chef configuration management tool, they work on the server, they work on the master slave configuration architecture. All right, and each client should have the agent installed on them. All right, and it works on the pull configuration from the master server, and a client should have a certificate so that it can be validated by the server. In case if the certificate goes bad, then it's a very daunting task to troubleshoot and get it fixed. All right, so in case if you have any inputs or any queries, you can connect me at coach.rhc@gmail.com, or you can ping me on my or you can ping me here on the chat. All right. So let's see the architecture. In Ansible, there are two types of machines. You have a control node and you have a managed node. So control node is the one on which you have your Ansible installed software. Okay. So this is the node on which you run your Ansible ad hoc command. This is the place, or this is the machine on which you run your Ansible playbook. All right. Apart from that, you have your inventory file, that is etc Ansible host, which has all the information of the host you want to Ansible to manage. All right, and then you have a configuration file. So all the configurations are there in this uh, location, etc Ansible, Ansible.cfg and modules. Okay, and then manage nodes are nothing but it's just a plain node which has is managed by Ansible. Okay, these are also called as host, and there is no Ansible software installed on it. Okay, if you see the diagram here, you have a control node and all these are client node on the right hand side. And then how does it work? Then control node has one inventory file which has all the information of this client, that is the host name of the client. And then you have a playbook. Playbook is written as a YAML, and then it has the task. What are the tasks that can be executed, that should be executed on this machine? So the step one would be Ansible works by connecting to a node, that is client 1, client 2, client 3 via SSH. Step 2 will be pushing out a small program called as module, whether it could be an installation of a package module or it could be a copy module, etc. Right. So once Ansible executes those module on the client, it removes when it is done. All right. So this is how the architecture works on. So how does an inventory file looks like? So this is the inventory file on which you have your a group called as web server. You can group your machines or a host based on the the servers. That is, if your application servers, you can group them as an application. If you have a web server, you can keep it as a web server, or if you have a database, you can do a database service. So this is the grouping can be done with the either you can give the IP address, you can give the host name or range, whatever. So then you have Ansible. If you want to know what is the version of Ansible that you're using, then it's an Ansible hyphen hyphen version command, which gives you the version of Ansible, that is 2.9.5 here. And then the file that is being used, the configuration file, it gives you the information. If you want to know which configuration file is getting used, if you have multiple configuration files in your environment on this machine, then you can probably check that using this command. So it will be /etc Ansible, ansible.chg is the default location where you have. In case if you want to customize this, you can take it to your home directory and you can customize there, and then you can start using that file. All right, we spoke about module. It's a small program which Ansible pushes to the client, and by default Ansible ships with hundreds of modules uh, on the machines, on the control node. So what are the most frequently used modules? So that is your application, that is your package management, that is YAM and app. And then you have a system module where you have servers, group, user. Okay, those are the modules. And then you have very frequently used copy, templates, line in file. When you're working with a file, and if you want to do any editing to the line and all, you are using line in file. And then replace module and etc. Then you have MySQL DB for database. Similarly, you have command and shell modules. Okay, and as a Ansible admin, you should know when to use command and when to use a shell module. Okay, and then you can use EC2 module for spinning up an AWS instance, or you can use a GCE or a Docker underscore container module. Okay, and then debug module prints the statement during the execution. All right, so a playbook is a YAML file where you run a series of tasks on the host. So playbook is nothing but it's a list of plays, and plays are nothing but it's a task which is mentioned. All right, so if you see here, it's a YAML file, and then it says it works on the web server group, which we saw in the inventory file. And the task that it runs is it uses the yum to install the yum package, and then it uses one more module, that is the service module, which starts the services of the module. So this way, this all things we will be doing it in the lab later on. So this is just a basic of how playbook looks like. All right, in case if you are new to YAML, then you can actually write a playbook, and in case you're not sure about the syntax, then you can use the YAML link. There's the link, and then you can validate the playbook there. All right.